I do think there's different facts out there, and everybody needs to kind of, I think for their own mental health, make decisions based on the information that resonates with them. Because I don't really know what's true out there anymore. I believe that 100%. I have to read between the lines now.
I'm Colin Burrows, and this is the Woodstein Media Podcast, Episode 8. This podcast and Woodstein Media are produced on the lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Anishinaabe, and Odawa peoples. This episode features a conversation with Sharon Darcy, Chair of the North Perth Chamber of Commerce. I reached out to Darcy for a discussion after she made a post promoting a People's Party of Canada event. Making the post raised questions about whether the Chamber should be promoting an event for a party that has candidates who have been supported by their leader after sharing misogynist and racist tweets. And the leader himself has been heard publicly uttering racist phrases aimed at politicians such as Jagmeet Singh, leader of the NDP. Some might say this endorsement reflects on the member organizations of the Chamber who could be construed as supporting the PPC. Darcy claimed she was unaware of the political stances of the PPC and its leader, Maxime Bernier, but did not research the PPC before making the post on social media. The post has now been removed. This podcast and Woodstein Media are independently produced journalism that you can support through Patreon or by donating through PayPal at woodstein.ca. That's WOOD-STEIN.ca. Thanks for your interest and support. If you enjoy this podcast, you can support it by listening to more episodes and liking, sharing, subscribing, or reviewing them. Thanks again. Hi. I'm just wondering if you or anyone else could talk to me about the event that you're not hosting but promoting on Saturday.
Yeah. We're not hosting it at all. We're sharing information about the PPE. What's your name?
Yeah, Colin Burrows.
Oh, sure. Well, this is interesting, Colin, because I don't think it's going to be a big deal to share it. And just a couple feedback from on social media is one. I don't really know anything about it. I got a phone call from Wayne Baker over in the Arthur area, and he is the past president from the chamber over there. And he was just saying, "Are you familiar with this event?" I was like, "No." And he told me about it, and he said, "Could I share it?" And I was like, I don't really know what, like, we don't usually get into any political shares. And he goes, but they're having a round table discussion with businesses, and so they'd like to have that out. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, so how do businesses find out about this otherwise? And I don't really know. And he covers Perth Wellington, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I could send it out, but send me what you want. I'd rather just do a social media share if that was kind of like, if they've already established it. Typically that's what we do in here.
Okay, can I ask you if you've ever done that for the local NDP or Liberal Party?
Yeah, when there's round table discussions, we've had one for at the time, it hasn't been done in a long time, to be honest. John Wilkinson was probably the last one that would really engage with our local businesses. Okay. We haven't had that, but we do it for Mayor Todd, and we do
Yes,
social.
But Mayor Todd does not have a history of racism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia.
What?
The PPC, their Maxime is well known as xenophobic, racist, homophobic. And now you're...
According to what? According to whom?
According to courts.
Really?
Yes.
Ew.
Yes, and he tried to have a defamation case that would prove that he was not any of those, and it was thrown out because there's enough evidence from his behavior in public that he is all of those.
It's so hard politically, isn't it, to... I struggle trusting anything in the political side of things because it's so maxed out. It's I felt like, I wonder if it's just because their poster had something to do with freedom on it or whatever. Like, because there's so many people so angsty about the whole, it's like Trudeau saying like the truckers are just a bunch of like creating the whole storyline and the news stations rewriting everything he tells them to write. Like, it's so deep. And I don't think it's about if people need to go out and talk, and can they go out and talk anymore? Like, I don't know how you feel. Like, as a journalist, you probably should be pro free speech, right? Like, it should be very much allowed. Like, even people that don't like what people are saying, people should be allowed to say what they want to say.
Well, the ironic thing about the court case that I just mentioned about defamation was thrown out because he was told he was trying to trample on someone else's free speech.
So 2 people fighting for free speech, right? Is that what it was?
No, he was trying to tell this journalist that he couldn't write about facts.
Facts is hard, isn't it now? Like, trying to
facts are easy. Facts are truth.
Well, I would hope so, but there's been a lot of facts that haven't been true, and they still.
Those aren't facts, then.
Are they?
They're not facts if they're not true.
Well, that's what I would think, right? I would think so.
Yeah.
But do you honestly think that that is what's really happening? Like, everything that is in print is 100% true?
I did not say that.
Okay.
But I said there's facts. Like, when Maxime talks about the rag on Jagmeet Singh's head, that's racist, and he said that publicly. It was overheard, so that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's not an opinion.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be. That's not correct.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I agree with people should treat people with like dignity and respect. Period. I don't, but I don't know. I've never heard anything about this Maxine just being like this, and I like whatever. But do you agree that businesses have been struggling? Businesses
have been struggling for quite a while. Many businesses.
Yeah, but also the last couple of years have been. This is what I hear. There's been businesses that are talking to me about their situations get really, really hard, and they need people to talk to, and they need to probably group up with other people to find resources or ways to work. So the chamber does try really hard to provide resources for them. We don't. We're not the be all and end all of the solution. We try to provide solutions. So I don't know. I always feel like the political side of things are so difficult. But I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know if businesses want to know about these things or don't want to know about things. And if businesses that do want to know about it, they say, thank you for sharing that. Other businesses are like, why would you share something like that? I don't agree with that.
Can I ask about that? Did you put anything out to the businesses, all your members, before you shared this for Wayne?
No, and I always feel like the social media is the easy part. Like, it's a share. People can read it or not read it. It's a feed in their inbox. They can, like, same as mine. Like, I get stuff all the time too. Like, I try to pay attention to the stuff that's relevant to this role or whatever. But I know, it's not attention to piss anybody off, and that's the hard part. But there's other ones that are like, I don't know, just information. People want to be part of it or not part of it. Like, it's like the disinformation dozen. Like, I feel like there's a lot of very brilliant people that have been put under the wire for expressing their truths. And
there you go again. Their truths. Aren't truths the same for all of us?
Yeah. Same thing though, like, I guess their options are, I feel like a lot of them had more to lose to tell, and I'm saying their truth because I feel this whole COVID situation has caused a lot of people to act or react, or, it's a fear-based situation, and it did have a ripple effect on businesses and who could open doors and who couldn't, who had to make sacrifices and who didn't, who, like, all those kind of things.
An indolent mountebank cuckoo bird perches on one of the 3 branches, preening itself, tweet, tweet, sucking all of the oxygen out of the atmosphere, tweet, tweet, and pooping, sending unseen armies of dung beetles scurrying falling over themselves to examine the droppings, and then like fish choking on plastic bags, gorging themselves and regurgitating the blowout of logorrhea, and in so doing, creating a false equivalency between facts and lies.
That excerpt from the track Dragons and Science vs. Cuckoo Poop Clowns by Dan Burton O'Bacon and the Access of Dissent from the double album Mesmerica Expect a Circus, entitled Montebank Cuckoo Bird, is a metaphor for the dissemination of misinformation and disinformation, which has led to a crisis in our society where many people perpetuate a false equivalency between facts and lies.
So I'm back to your original question. Like, I don't know if so the board gets together once a month, and I know we've been a little back and forth about how to get information out to businesses. And this particular one, I looked at it like it's concerning businesses. I just wanted to put it out there if somebody had an opportunity to go to it. This is, if they even catch it in my feed, if this is even something that they would want to go to. It's up to them to make that choice to go, not me choosing to whether I share a feed or not share a feed. I struggled for that for probably about 20 minutes, and then I was like, I have to get some work done, so just put it out there and use that line that said, like, I'm not.
Should you be, I noticed you blocked comments and discussion.
Yeah.
Does that block freedom of speech right there?
Well, I just didn't know who was responding. So I thought, well, that's part of it. I don't know who these people are. It's one thing, like you come up, let's chat about it, sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Oh, what you've done.
I wouldn't have shared it.
And why?
Because I believe that for reasons not related to COVID, related to all the climate denial, the racist, homophobic, xenophobic rhetoric that comes out of the People's Party of Canada, that there's more negativity there than positivity coming out of it. And I would not have shared it.
Oh. Yeah. I guess maybe that was my problem, just not knowing enough about the People's Party of Canada.
And that's another thing. Like, I would have did more research on who are they. Well,
are they not it sounded like, I believe they were on the last election list, so I thought they were an elected party.
They are, but so at times are Nazi parties, you know.
Sure of all that. Is that not just, is that a personal view, or is that like, you can say like concrete?
Concretely, they have been in the past.
In the past, as in how far in the past? Like they're fairly new party, right?
Oh, the PPC?
Yeah.
They are from 2017 or 2018. But yes, all these other parties have at times, there's been a wide variety of parties in Canada.
Do you believe that name, like that name calling is something though that has really come up loud it's a real fight and divide. Like, do you feel like people are saying that to create more divide? Like, do you think it's true that these, whoever, Maxime Bernier or whatever,
but he has supported people who have, his candidates have put out racist and homophobic tweets attacking other candidates and other people, and he's supported them. So it's not just name calling.
Yeah.
It's a nasty person being supported, and he's a politician. When you see him over there, he's not going to come off as nasty. Politicians are great at getting along with us. It's
you say he'll go to this,
and he'll be friendly. He'll be
friendly.
You'll probably have a great time with him.
So you don't. So he just turns this on and off, like so. Like,
well, it's always there. He just knows how. He's a politician. He knows how to talk to people.
Well, we could say that pretty much about
all politicians. Well, that's what politicians do. But not all of them have the same underlying nastiness, negativity.
Yeah, or personal gain or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, politically, across the board, everywhere, it's not pretty. Like, I feel there's an underlying creation of trouble. Like whether it's Trudeau or Pierre Poilievre or whatever, like it's like kids in a sandbox throwing dirt around, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And whatever sticks might work for them. It's unfortunate because these are our leaders, and we need to work together as a country to get out of this stuff. But I don't know. I don't want to think that somebody could be that could lead a party. I shouldn't say that because I think Trudeau is doing the same thing. Like, Trudeau throws sand at anybody too.
I think the sand Trudeau throws is different. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it's quite a bit different than the PPC party sand.
Yeah. So your view is having the PPC period or PPC gathering at all would be a terrible thing. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
And that businesses shouldn't have an opportunity.
I think there's a lot of businesses who probably don't want to be associated with it because they have an association with, hate.
Yeah. I hate the hate part of it, but I think that the hate is also Trudeau's side of things.
How is Trudeau promoting the same kind of hate?
Well, the truckers was the whole thing. Like, across the country was hate. He displayed his hate by, would you not say?
No, I would not.
Why?
I don't see how you're associating
that's the
hate with that. I believe that they brought hate with them, some of them, not all of them. There was Nazi flags there. There was Confederate flags there.
We don't even know. We can
We do. No.
We can argue that, but one side against the other altogether. But you saw what happened across Canada too. Like, the amount of people that came out to support the truckers. The truckers wanted to be a voice.
It was minuscule compared to the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. See, like, that's just us going to two different sides. I think the bottom line, we both want peace and freedom, and we both want good to prevail. Right?
So how does bringing someone who promotes, or like you're not bringing, I know you're not hosting, but promoting the event of someone who promotes hate bring peace and freedom?
Well, I think that might be, again, the view, like, where you might feel very strongly against the PPC. So I think your view is...
We've already established factually that they have said or done things that promote hate.
Yeah. And I think I see where you're coming from. I think that you feel very strongly against something he said or done or whatever. But would he be this far? I don't know. I don't really... The whole thing is...
He's not really that far. They've never got anyone elected.
Yeah. So the big question is, do we...
He's been elected, I guess, as a...
representative to the party.
No, as a conservative, and then he ended up leaving the Conservative Party because...
Again, maybe...
They had disagreements.
Is it his voice? I don't know. I don't know who this person is either, who's leading it. I've heard of the PPC. I've seen things in lawns and stuff like that. I've seen people looking for stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just, if people were looking for it and they want to go, they go.
Yeah.
Like the days of, I've worked alongside really good reporters. Like, mm-hmm. I know how the basis would go in the old days of following what's being said and digging the truth. Like, so I respect those that do that. I didn't mean to cause any kind of I'm just trying to make judgment as to who might want to see this, who might want to go to this. And now you got me curious, because now I'm almost going like, should I be going to find out what the hell this is about? Yeah. Like, I am. You've got me like peaked a little bit, going like, I I don't have a lot of trust in any government. So I don't put a lot of energy, I try not to put a lot of energy in the whole who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. I just hope that they do the best to keep Canada strong and keep us what we're proud of, and like that whole base of that's what I want for our community, like the whole that kind of stuff is if everybody just did the best they could for the right reasons, wouldn't this be a great country? Yeah. And the same judging on the people for what they're doing or who they're fighting for, or maybe they made a mistake. I don't know this Maxime. Maybe he made a big mistake opening his mouth and saying the wrong thing. Maybe I made a big mistake by posting something too.
He's doubled down on most of these things.
So you picture him as being somebody that would, like, as a misogynist individual, he would just attack people and just get rid of them as soon as he can.
Do you mean physically attack or
have his people attack? Maybe get the RCMP to act on his behalf and do something terrible to other people because of his beliefs?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he'll have that opportunity.
Would that be opportunity? Yeah, wouldn't it be scary opportunity? I hope no other leader gets that opportunity to enforce his own thoughts on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we gotta be careful of. Like, I get the whole people worried about the communist state, people worried about the future.
But do you think it needs to go that far? Do you think just people, ideas like that being able to be in our communities, we don't need the RCMP doing that. In our communities, when those ideas are made okay, like when I was writing about incidents that happened to members of the Multicultural Association, where in our community they were being told to go home, that sort of thing, that which is being made okay by when a party leader can say the same sorts of things. It's being normalized.
So wouldn't it be better to have more discussions about it? Like, I think that whole diversity, equity, inclusion conversations are about empathy and stuff, like to realize is the divide getting, and this is a conversation I like let's get down into the depth of humanity, right? Like the thoughts of something. Where does the thoughts come from? Why would somebody say those things? Is it learned behavior? Is it like nobody's taken the time to stop and have a conversation with somebody else, going like, they have feelings? Put yourself in their shoes. What have they come from? What are they experiencing? Like, wouldn't it be horrible to be in a whole new country? They don't want to be here. They're trying to be. They'd probably want to be in their own country, living a beautiful life. Like, the people are making these moves. So yeah, I understand that you're saying like, but could that political party be more than what you're saying, a misogynistic, like racist individual? Are they more than that? Are they wanting? They're
also climate change deniers.
Yeah.
Did you live through this January here? I think there was some proof
I follow Greg Braden. I follow people, all other people, and then I'm a climate denier too. Then I guess because I to these extremes, like they're setting up programs already. So they weren't even through COVID, and they're already pushing the climate agenda. Like there are agendas out there by world leaders they're purposely trying. Like I believe it's more than what it just is. So it just goes into the, I guess the whole, I think it's getting beyond. Like it's not, we're aware that climate and everything that we do on Earth has a ripple effect. Yes. But to the extreme where everything needs to go a certain way before we're even ready for it. Like they're talking about cities and...
Do you think it's us that has to be ready or the planet? Because we're already getting storms that are well beyond what the planet has been used to more often. And how was your Christmas?
Yeah, it was weird Christmas, wasn't it? Yeah. Came in like a shot. And for
it was all over the continent too.
Yes, it was. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? And a coincidence that it just ties in with all the other stuff that needed to tie into.
I don't know whether it's a coincidence though. That's
It's the thing. It's the art of questioning, isn't it? And yes, I agree that there's climate issues, but I don't know that all of them are what our Earth can actually hold for population, what we have been through once before, like how long this Earth has been here, turning in circles, like all that kind of stuff. It gets into a lot of nitty-gritty stuff, but if whatever this shit comes out of one person's mouth, if it creates a conversation for people to ask questions, that's a good thing. And keep asking. I think it is good to ask those questions and get one person's opinion might be totally different from somebody else's opinion. One might be right, the other one might feel that they're right, or they could be 100% right or wrong.
What would your party do to take actions that would help deal with some of the conditions that farmers are dealing with due to climate change?
Well, first off, Colin, I don't know about the Canada you live in, but the Canada I live in, the climate changes about every 3 months.
That was a clip of an interview with Wayne Baker, organizer of the PPC event being discussed, and Perth Wellington PPC candidate in the 2021 federal election. In this clip, he was displaying his ignorance of what climate change is, as he mistook it for the regular change of seasons. Should you be looking for opinions or facts? It's always
That's the facts. The facts are interesting. But there'll be a part that one day you'll just feel, this is what I need to know, and this is what I feel good about knowing. Otherwise, I think it's a deep dive down a rabbit hole.
Well, that went a long way from my initial question, but so can I just get you to sum up by, if you'd like to, I guess, say how you feel now about having shared that, and what is the participation of the chamber? Like you're just holding a round table there, or are you even holding
We're not involved in it at all.
Okay.
All we were told, all I was said was, businesses in Perth County are invited to this round table.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, it's up to them to go. It's up to them to want to go if they want to talk about it. But and from conversations I've had with some businesses, I felt like, geez, there's a lot of frustration in some businesses. Some are doing just fine, ticking away. Some are really frustrated.
Some have been booming.
Yes, some have boomed.
Yeah.
And some have fallen apart, and some are carrying a lot of debt. Yeah. And they're looking for solutions, or they're looking for just discussion points. Maybe they're curious about, I don't know what's going on at this thing. So Colin, the only thing that went through my head was, how do I decide if somebody else should or shouldn't go to something? Like, I was like, it's not up to me to decide to go to something.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have the opportunity to make that decision if I was aware of it. If I was a business owner and I didn't get to hear about this, would I have been frustrated with somebody along the line? I didn't want them frustrated with me, but I don't want you frustrated with me either. So it's like I can't win sometimes, and like sometimes I just want to crawl in a little hole and go home and not participate in this game anymore. Like,
I think we all feel that sometimes.
It's like it doesn't matter what you say or do, somebody's gonna be mad at me. Like, do it or don't do it. I'm in trouble.
Okay. So okay, that clears up, because it was just sharing that there, but you're not hosting the round table.
It doesn't say that we're hosting it.
Yeah, some people I think.
All it said was like business owners opportunity.
Okay.
And that was the only thing. Like it, don't like it. Go, don't go. Like, I didn't want to get wrapped up in something that I didn't give a shit about. I just wanted to not be the one that didn't let somebody else. I have there's over 200 businesses with the chamber.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to serve them best. Mm-hmm. And all you can do is give them opportunities or resources for them to use or not use, right? So that And then it's the same thing. Well, somebody else said to me, well, do you host the mayor's thing? And I was like, well, I know he's an elected official. Okay, wait a minute, no. He's representing, well, and I was like, I don't know, because I don't know. Is that wrong to do too? Should we allow a presentation from an elected official to the business community? I think so.
They're not elected officials, though.
Mayor Todd is an elected official.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about the PPC.
Yeah, but they aren't they? They're elected in their. They're
No,
elected.
none of them have made it.
They were on the last ballot.
They were on the last ballot, lost every race.
The what?
They were on the last ballot, but they lost every race. Okay, well, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah,
It's been
you
a
know what?
very interesting
Colin, I
conversation.
appreciate the conversation too. I have no attached emotions to anybody's outcome or whatever. Like, would you go to this thing now that it's out there and you know about it, or would you stay away from it because you know that it's something that you totally are against personally?
That's a good question. I've been wondering what it would be like inside, but
That's what
I
my brain
am
is.
against it personally.
So it would be very difficult for you to listen to somebody talk about it. I agree. So it's got me a little curious myself, and I'm like I feel it's going to be a boom bust rally. Like it'd be like people that are maybe looking at opportunities and options. Like, will they get anything from this? Will it help build them confidence? Will they have a voice at a table? Even though, like, it sounds like to you, they have no voice regardless. The PPC had no voice regardless. So sitting at a round table won't really mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a voice, but there's other ways to have a voice, and they are on the grassroots, stir things up. We've heard of them, so they have some sort of a voice because they're getting their word out there.
Yeah, I would.
Maxime has
You've
been.
got me curious. I'm going to look it up because I'm like, I would hope that he wouldn't be that person of such horrible words. But I mean,
Well, thanks a lot.
yes, Colin, feel free to pop in anytime.
Okay.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. How can we be proud? Your behavior on climate change should not be allowed. We're tired of all these fossil awards. You don't speak for us, that's not the future we fight for. Why won't Canada help to lower emissions? Follow the money to understand these decisions. Who has got our government's ear? It's a slick oil lobbyist using money and fear. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. Meanwhile, tar sands expansion, dirty and carbon intensive, causing widespread destruction, disrespecting indigenous rights and lands. Looks like islands are sinking while the ice melts, earth is bleeding, flooded in fever, some places burning, heart and sky lungs, erratic breathing, like ACF and Jack Pine Mine, MG1 and Line 9 Pipeline, for Nelson River, frickin' frackin', Unistoten, cabin fever. We need to kick the oil industry resistance. It's beautiful, it's joyful. La résistance à cette existence. Nous avons le choix, élevons nos voix. The resistance to this existence. We got choices, raise your voices. La résistance à cette existence. Gardons la joie et on y va. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. We need to kick the oil industry off of indigenous territory. The resistance to this existence, it's beautiful, it's joyful. The resistance to this existence, it's beautiful, it's joyful.
Thanks for listening, and thanks to Sharon for the discussion, even if we don't seem to agree on anything. That final song was Canadian Politics by Vila from the Beautiful Resistance demo, released in 2013. Check the description wherever you are listening to this for Bandcamp links to the music and links to other information from the discussion. Or visit woodstein.ca, that's WOOD-STEIN.ca. You can support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Colin Burrows. Like, share, comment, follow, and support Woodstein Media and this podcast, and have a wonderful day.